All right, so let's set the scene. You've done your homework, you've done your due diligence, and you're ready to go. Like, you find the stock, it's got the liquidity, it's got the implied volatility rank, all these kinds of things. And you're looking at different option strategies to get on the short side of the contract. Okay, but now you've got to figure out, which direction do I want to play? Do I want to lean long or do I want to lean short? It's an important question. But most importantly, we need to remember that nobody knows anything regarding where the stock is going next, where the market's going next, where Netflix is going next, where AMD is going next. Nobody knows a single thing short-term, day-to-day, tick-by-tick, moment by moment. It is 100% random and unpredictable. But still, you got to pick a side. Like, you got to choose a fighter in this fight. And of course, you could go neutral, but let's leave that on the shelf for the purposes of this video, because that would kind of disrupt everything that I'm trying to do here for the next 6, 7, maybe 19 minutes. So let's break down the age-old question of long versus short. But before we even get into the direction, let's actually hit on this idea of randomness and unpredictability in a really practical way first. Liquidity, volatility, these non-directional elements of the marketplace, of the stock that you're looking at, these are far more important than the direction that you ultimately decide to choose. So make sure these things are in place before you ever try to decide if I want to be long or if I want to be short. Do I want to be a bull or do I want to be a bear? You've got to get liquidity in place first. So use like a Tasty Trade watch list, like the Tasty Default watch list is a great place to start. You got to make sure your volatility is where you want it to be. Like, are you selling volatility? Then you kind of want a higher implied volatility rank, so at least 30 or higher. Are you buying implied volatility? Now you probably want a lower implied volatility rank, so maybe something in the single digits. Get that squared away first. All right, so direction. Let's actually shoot from the dark side here to kick things off. Let's go with the short side first. And I think there are 4 reasons why you might consider playing the market from the short side. And these are in no particular order necessarily, but reason number 1, negative skew. So those big outlier moves, those big scary moves, those black swans for all my Nassim Taleb fans that might be watching the video or listening to the video here today. Your audio only crowd, I see you guys, man. And by see you guys, I mean I hear you guys. But negative skew is basically just the idea that when it comes to those outlier moves, most of the time they're going to happen to the downside. Like, most of the time they're going to lead to big market meltdowns lower, not necessarily melt ups, not necessarily crashes up. Now, those things do happen, of course. I mean, Liberation Day last year, the NASDAQ rallied 9-10% in like an hour. I mean, it was a crazy, crazy, crazy rally. But most of the time, the big moves, those huge outliers that we're all concerned about, I mean, everybody's concerned about them. The active trader, the passive investor, everybody is concerned about the outlier move. But most of the time, these happen to the downside. So if I had short delta, if I was playing the market from the short side, these are not going to hurt nearly as much as if I was on the long side, obviously. And they might even help depending on how the delta is set up. So reason number 2, positive kurtosis. So we've just learned that the outlier moves typically happen to the downside. Well, positive kurtosis shows us that the tails in the distribution, they are fatter than what you would expect with a normal distribution. That simply means there are more occurrences on both sides of the market with outlier moves populating those tail events, those extreme upside and those extreme downside moves. Well, if my biggest risk, especially as a premium seller, as an active options trader, if my biggest risk is the outlier move, and most of the outliers happen to the downside, and there are more outliers than what a normal distribution would predict, like, we're kind of putting the pieces together, right? Like, hopefully it's starting to take a little bit of shape. Like, all right, the short side of the market could make a little bit of sense. Ultimately, of course, you have to decide. But when it comes to the statistical power of negative skew and positive kurtosis, I mean, this shows us there can at least be a case made for the short side of the market. Not to mention, we're only on reason number 2. There's still 2 reasons to go. Which brings me to reason number 3, the velocity of the move. So not only do you have more big moves happening to the downside, not only do you have more big moves in general, but when it comes to the really fast, high velocity, potent moves that happen in the blink of an eye, those also typically happen to the downside. Again, it doesn't mean they can't happen to the upside. I'm just talking about on average over time. Well, as a premium seller, right? I have all kinds of defensive maneuvers that I can make. I have all kinds of things that I can do when things go wrong and things go against me. But the problem is when something happens really quickly, there's only so much I can do. And a lot of times it's not really that much. A lot of times it's very muted in the different defensive maneuvers that I can make against a really quick outlier move. And those high velocity moves, they often do occur on the downside. And those can be really problematic for me as a premium seller. And then lastly, reason number 4, volatility hedging, volatility risk. Right? Remember, if I'm selling premium on either side of the market, doesn't matter, selling calls, selling puts, whatever, I am positive theta, but I'm also negative Vega. And so by being negative Vega, I'm exposed to big volatility events. I'm exposed to huge volatility expansions very, very quickly. Well, what typically accompanies a big volatility expansion? A market sell-off. Like what typically comes alongside a huge rip in the VIX? A big market drop, because we know that market prices and market volatility are almost always reliably inversely related. Now, again, it doesn't happen all the time. These are independent animals. These are independent metrics. So you will have days where market up and volatility is up and market's down and volatility is down. But most of the time, they're going to be inversely related. And so if I'm looking for a way to actively hedge against my negative Vega, short delta is going to be one way that I can do that. So those are the reasons for potentially playing the market from the short side. 4 reasons. Seems like a pretty strong case. All right, let's go to the other side, the long side, positive delta. There's only one reason. There's only one singular reason. So you might think naturally, wow, man, you got to go to the short side according to this random guy on the internet. Like, wow, I think I got to play the market short according to, 4 reasons to 1. Not so fast. And that's because the one reason that is on the long side is positive drift. The one reason that is on the positive delta side of the case of the argument is the positive risk premium in the marketplace. And this could be the strongest force in the marketplace. I mean, there's a reason why the market has gone up 9, 10, 11% on average over time, over the last, 100, 200, 300 years, whatever it's been. There's a reason why that's the case. Because you've got growth, you've got innovation, you've got creativity, you've got all these things that are baked right into the center of the financial global marketplace. And when you play the market to the upside, you have all that working in your favor. That is all a tailwind to your position. I don't think you need any more reasons. We could add some things on and we could try to color it up and all those things, but I don't even know that they're necessary. And so, which one should you choose? Well, that's up to you. Right, this is very much like a choose your own adventure book that we all played when we were kids. Like if you want to play the market from the short side, go to page 18 and see what happens. If you want to play the market to the long side, go to page 29 and see what happens. And so you can absolutely unequivocally make a strong case for either side. Play the market from the short side, play the market from the long side. You can build a pretty strong, powerful case for that directional bias. Just remember, it's been said before. And man, I don't know who said this, but it is a catchy jingle that you couldn't forget if you tried. For every gimme, there's a gotcha. Well, there's gimmies and gotchas on the short side, and there's gimmies and gotchas on the long side. And so it's up to you to decide, and we'll see you guys in the next one.